bench this evening is on the board, and we are live from the Business Bay Square Mall in Eastleigh, a neighborhood with significant economic contribution to the county of Nairobi and the country. And the bench will be graced by the Investment, Trade and Industry Cabinet Secretary Lee Kinyanjui. We will discuss the ease of doing business in Kenya and how to turn the economy around to productivity-led and export-oriented. This in the midst of troubling trade waters and the emergence of new frontiers. I am Ayub Abdikadir, and here are the top stories tonight.
Baadhi ya mbinu hizi zilitumika baadaye kuhalilisha hatua ya serikali kuwakamata, kuwateka nyara na kuwaua waandamanaji maarufu wa maandamano.
Telco companies accused of allegedly aiding the government in tracking an abduction of anti-government demonstrators.
Hii tabia ya kujitangaza we mwenyewe ati sijui mimi ndiye mkubwa ya hii mlima. Nani alikuchagua mkubwa wa mlima? I am the senior most political leader in Mount Kenya region for the avoidance of doubt.
Rumble Mbere North. Kindiki and Gachagua lock horns over Mount Kenya as November 27 by-elections campaign beacon. It's a yellow card. IEBC fines Kasipul candidates Philip Aroko and Boyd Were 1 million shillings each for flouting electoral codes of conduct. Plight of Kenyans in Tanzania. The body of a Kenyan killed in Tanzania is still missing, with more Kenyans languishing in police cells. And Joki Shege is our sign language interpreter. Amnesty International says the Kenyan government used surveillance technology to track, arrest and intimidate demonstrators, alleging that the companies provided access to phone data used by security agencies in the country. Among the companies is Safaricom, which has denied any wrongdoing and involvement, telling Amnesty International in its right of reply that it did not supply data unlawfully, maintaining that it adhered to all the legal and regulatory requirements. Citizen TV's Ben Kiroe kicks us off on the broadcast this evening.
The report titled "This Fear, Everyone is Feeling It" has laid bare the scale of state violence during the nationwide anti-government protest that swept Kenya between June 2024 and July 2025, documenting 128 killings of young protesters, 83 enforced disappearances, and more than 3,000 arbitrary arrests. The report accuses the government of weaponizing technology to clamp down on the Gen Z-led demonstrations. Amnesty says authorities deployed unlawful surveillance, online harassment, disinformation campaigns, and digital intimidation to silence outspoken youth activists.
Online harassment and smear campaigns became the core tools of the state to undermine the credibility and reach of government critics.
And let's be clear, it's not just that people's rights to privacy has been undermined, but many of the cases we've discussed are related to serious crimes.
A central allegation in the report is that security agencies accessed Kenyans' phone data and location records, often without court orders, with the Safaricom placed at the center of public scrutiny. The telecom giant, however, denied any wrongdoing, insisting it only shares customer data through legal and regulated processes.
Human rights defenders interviewed by Amnesty International believe that state surveillance was supported by Safaricom, one of Kenya's largest telecommunications companies, allowing clandestine police units to track activists involved in protests. In response to the allegations, Safaricom stated that it only shares customer data through lawful means for lawful purposes. They confirm that their systems are not designed to track live location of any subscriber.
The telco company has a responsibility to tell me that a request was made by a government department to either follow my, to basically access my call records or to follow me across the city by using my phone.
Amnesty also points a finger at social media platform X, accusing it of failing to act against coordinated hate campaigns and disinformation networks that targeted activists during the protests.
In April 2025, suspected state-sponsored trolls using the hashtag Toxic Activists campaign to target most notably Hanifa and Boniface after they gave an interview for BBC's Blood Parliament.
According to the report, several young activists who gained prominence online were allegedly tracked, abducted, and in some cases, killed. The human rights group is now calling for an immediate end to tech-facilitated state violence, an independent investigation into the killings and disappearances, and urgent reforms to the Computer Misuse and Cybercrimes Act, which it says it has been repeatedly misused to criminalize dissent. Ben Kirui, Citizen TV, Nairobi.
Foreign and Diaspora Affairs Cabinet Secretary Musalia Mudavadi says the body of a Kenyan teacher, John Ogutu, who was shot dead in Tanzania on the 29th of October after demonstrations erupted over the sham presidential election, is yet to be traced for repatriation. Appearing before the National Assembly this afternoon, the Prime Cabinet Secretary also defended the first family against accusations of profiting from the slave trade in domestic workers seeking employment in Saudi Arabia and the Gulf region.
Appearing before the National Assembly on Wednesday to respond to questions on how many Kenyans were killed or are missing on account of the violent quelling of protests that greeted the October 29th presidential election in Tanzania, Mudavadi revealed that the body of the one confirmed death, that of Kenyan teacher John Ogutu, is yet to be traced.
The Kenya High Commission, with the support from Sky Schools, conducted visits to government hospital mortuaries in Dar es Salaam to trace and identify the remains of Mr. Ogutu. However, these efforts have so far been unsuccessful.
This comes amid concerning reports from the civil society that Tanzanian authorities are disappearing bodies to cover up the extent of the human rights abuses.
Through the High Commission, all but 2 of the detained Kenyans have since been released. The remaining 2 individuals are Mr. Samuel Kagila and Stephen Dungu Kimani, who are currently held at Arusha Central Police Station.
Mudavadi taken to task over the mistreatment of Kenyans in Tanzania and Uganda.
And we saw those Kenyans saying that their release came when the former president of this country, Uhuru Kenyatta, intervened.
That the former president engaged the Ugandan government to release Kenyans from there. As who, Mr. Speaker? An ordinary citizen who was retired, Mr. Speaker, who was just doing his farming in Gatundu, Mr. Speaker.
We should all collectively move away from bordering on entering into xenophobia, where we start having unnecessary hostility against citizens of other friendly countries.
Questioned on a New York Times report that fingered senior politicians and even the first family for profiting from the mass export of domestic workers to Saudi Arabia, where they're subjected to inhumane conditions, Mudavadi cried defamation.
Could the Prime Cabinet Secretary clarify whether any senior government officials or their family members directly or indirectly own, control or benefit from recruitment, training or insurance companies involved in deploying Kenyan workers to the Gulf?
We do not engage in any human trafficking, neither does the president of this country or his government engage in any slave trading. That no single insurance company has a monopoly covering Kenyans seeking jobs in the Gulf or any other country.
Olive Burrows, Citizen TV.
The Independent Electoral and Boundaries Commission, IEBC, has fined 2 candidates in the forthcoming Kasipul parliamentary by-election 1 million shillings each for violating the Electoral Code of Conduct. Independent candidate Philip Aroko and ODM's Boyd Were were found guilty of violating the Electoral Code of Conduct by causing chaos, leading to the deaths of people and scores injured. The IEBC further directed the 2 candidates to uphold peace, failure to which they will be disqualified ahead of the by-elections slated for the 27th. Here is Gatete Njoroge.
In their effort to deal with violence that has marred Kasipul parliamentary by-election campaigns, IEBC has taken tough action against ODM candidate Boyd Were and independent candidate Philip Aroko. The two have been found guilty of violating the Electoral Code of Conduct by causing chaos which has resulted in deaths and the destruction of property.
The committee finds that the failure by the two candidates to stick to the campaign schedule resulted in the violence, deaths and destruction of property which were witnessed on 6 November 2025. The two candidates in this matter are responsible for the violence witnessed in Kasipul constituency.
With the verdict out, the Electoral Commission has ordered the two candidates to pay 1 million shillings as fine within the next 48 hours, failure to which the Commission will take further action.
That should any violation of the Electoral Code be repeated by any of them, this committee will consider all penalties under the law, including, with emphasis, their disqualification.
IEBC, which conducted its investigations in Kasipul, has warned Homa Bay County officials against interfering with the political activities in the area, saying the move is illegal.
This committee condemns the use of public resources and involvement of public officers in political campaigns, as this is in contravention of Section 14 of the Elections Offences Act, Cap 66. And has to stop.
On their part, Were and Aroko, who signed the Political Decency Charter as part of their commitment to uphold peace and tolerance, promised to adhere to the Electoral Code of Conduct and urged IEBC to provide enough security ahead of the polls.
Myself, I've been a peaceful man since I started this campaign in 2023, so I still keep it peaceful. I've signed this document bearing in mind that if I do anything that is opposite, the circumstances that will follow may not be favoring.
I want to urge my supporters, I want to urge all candidates in the Kasipul by-elections, all residents of Kasipul, let's maintain peace. Let's embrace each other. Let's campaign peacefully. Let's maintain peace. At the end of the day, we'll only have one member of parliament.
The Electoral Commission Code of Conduct Enforcement Committee has also warned candidates in other electoral areas to shun violence and desist from attacking electoral officials who will be overseeing the exercise. With a week left to the November 27th showdown, the Independent Electoral and Boundaries Commission is leaving nothing to chance, pulling out all stops to ensure a free, fair, credible, and most importantly, violence-free elections. Gatete Njoroge, Citizen TV, Nairobi.
Still on the by-elections, and Deputy President Professor Kithure Kindiki has dismissed former Deputy President Rigathi Gachagua's self-proclaimed title as the kingpin of the mountain, saying no one has chosen him for such a role. Kindiki insisted that the sitting Deputy President, he is the senior-most leader in the region, adding that Gachagua cannot claim the kingship while outside government. The former Deputy President in return stated that the current Deputy President is not his equal, daring President William Ruto to step into the Mbere North political ring for the by-elections campaign. Melita Oletenges has that report.
The Mbere North by-election has placed current Deputy President Kithure Kindiki and his predecessor Rigathi Gachagua, both sons of the mountain, within the same political radius, just kilometers apart, conducting intense campaigns for their camp's respective candidates. The rivalry between the two is playing out more openly than ever, with political barbs exchanged at nearly every campaign stop. The latest contest revolves around who is the true kingpin of the mountain as political bravado reaches new heights.
Hii tabia ya kujitangaza we mwenyewe ati sijui mimi ndiye mkubwa ya hii mlima. Nani alikuchagua mkubwa wa mlima? I am the senior most political leader in Mount Kenya region for the avoidance of doubt.
Wewe Kasongo kuja. Mimi niko hili hapa na watu ya Mbere. Tuoneshe wewe kivumbi sasa. Bwana tuma mfanyikazi, wewe Kasongo kuja mwenyewe.
DP Kindiki says Gachagua is a less experienced politician who was impeached, arguing that Gachagua's influence is elusive. Meanwhile, Gachagua has stamped his authority, insisting that on 27th November, the results will speak for themselves.
Hata sijui ametoka wapi, amekuja tu juzi. Mimi nimekuwa kwa siasa over 20 years. Tangu wakati wa Kibaki, tukamalizana na Uhuru. Siku ile Uhuru amepelekwa Hague wakiwa na Ruto. Mimi nilikuwa nawatetea huko. Sikuona huyo mtu.
Na hii Kasongo watu ya Bero wamekula pesa yake. Amenyolewa. Kasongo amenyolewa. Kasongo anyolewa sinyolewe. Kasongo anyolewa sinyolewe.
Wewe soprano wewe. Wewe soprano wewe. Kwanza kitu ya kwanza wewe ni nominated deputy president. Ule mtu tunajua kama deputy president ya watu ni mtu anaitwa Rigiji hapa.
With gloves off between DP Kindiki and former DP Gachagua, the two horse race between Leonard Wamuthende of UDA and Newton Karaoke of DP is intensifying.
Madarasa yake ni ya mato. Sasa amekuja kutusaidia nini? Amekuja kutuambia nini huyu jamaa?
Mnakubali uongo? Tunataka uongo ama maendeleo?
Meanwhile, in Magarini constituency, Kilifi County, Wiper Party leader Kalonzo Musyoka led campaigns for DCP candidate Stanley Karisa.
Tuamue hata wakileta pesa ngapi, kwanza mukule hizo pesa. Kwa sababu ni zenu.
Melita Oletenges, Citizen TV.
And it's shaping up to be a battle royale pitting the government machinery led by President William Ruto against the opposition brigade captained by the former Deputy President Rigathi Gachagua. The November 27th by-elections have already hit fever pitch, with a grueling do-or-die contest expected in Mbeere North and Malava constituencies. As Emmanuel Toh tells us in the following report, this could be the first political acid test for the president and his former deputy ahead of the 2027 general election.
Wacha nione kura ya Wamuthende.
On paper, it is UDA's Leonard Muriuki Wamuthende against the Democratic Party candidate Newton Karaoke alias Karish. However, the Mbeere North parliamentary by-election is more than the little-known names on the ballot papers. The contest is turning out to be a national political clash, pitting President William Ruto against his former deputy Rigathi Gachagua, with the president's number 2, Professor Kithure Kindiki, pitching camp drumming support for the ruling party. President Ruto, whose fortunes in the Mount Kenya region have dwindled since the impeachment of Gachagua, is seeking to assert his authority and control of the vote-rich Mount Kenya region, but it is proving to be a Herculean task yet. And as the campaign draws to a close next week Monday, all political cards and tricks are on the table. From the house-to-house vote hunting by both camps, led by DP Kindiki and former DP Gachagua, to political acts of generosity, it is a high-stakes showdown with serious ramifications as political heavyweights clash.
I am not leaving here until the 28th of November.
Mimi Rigiji mtoto ya Maumau. Nitakaa hapa mpaka Karish atagaswe kama mjumbe wa Mbeere North.
Leo Wamuthende achaguliwe. Niende bunge. Nitetee maendeleo.
Ni moto si moto. Ni baya si baya. Kwanza hajapunga tafadhali.
A win for the UDA party in Mbeere North will no doubt give President Ruto a much-needed sigh of relief and better his grip of the steep and slippery Mount Kenya region. The contrary will boast a Gachagua-led battalion and will deal a heavy blow to President Ruto's re-election bid in 2027. Malava constituency, just like Mbeere North, will also have a national bearing, with the government sending its most trusted foot soldiers to the volatile region. President William Ruto's aide, Farouk Kibet, has camped in Malava constituency for weeks, leading a well-oiled campaign for UDA's David Ndakwa, who is facing off with DAP Kenya's Seth Panyako.
Ndakwa aende bunge, alete maendeleo, sitima, maji.
Kama ni maji, hata nyumba ya utongo, pipe inaweza ingia mpate maji.
Wewe Mheshimiwa Ruto, tulikutafutia kura, ukatanganya sisi na sisi tukatanganya hawa wananchi. Ukasema kwamba utasaidia watu wa chini ukipeleka juu.
A win for UDS candidate will send a strong message against the one-term brigade in the Western Kenya region, while the opposite will give the opposition the arsenal ahead of the 2027 contest. Emmanuel Tor, Citizen TV.
And the ODM party leader Oburu Oginga has warned those attempting to divide the Orange Party to wake up from the dream, saying that he will not allow the party to split as the country heads into the next election. Oburu adding that the ODM party will only pursue political alignments that will strengthen its political future. Here's Willie Lusige with that report.
ODM party leader Oburu Oginga used a burial ceremony in Rongo, Migori County to address growing division within the party. He warned that attempts to weaken ODM will not succeed under his watch.
This morning, yesterday and the previous days, people have been busy fighting for seats instead of recruiting members to join ODM.
Those who want to or think or want to break ODM in their fertile imaginations, I'm telling them it will never happen in my hands.
Oburu insisting that ODM join the broad-based government not for personal gain, but to benefit its traditional support base, especially in the Nyanza region, and that the partnership remains intact.
That arrangement was made to benefit the people, membership of the ODM. And therefore, as we proceed forward, we are going to negotiate seriously and make sure that our people get their fair share of the national cake.
He reminded supporters that politics is a game of numbers and urged the Luo community to remain united behind ODM to strengthen its bargaining power as the 2027 polls draw closer.
But if you are just a few of you, nobody is going to mind what you get. They will tell you that where we are full.
Oburu said ODM will either go alone or partner with like-minded parties in the 2027 election, but only on terms that guarantee victory, insisting that the party is not ready to return to the opposition.
We are either going to go it alone or we are going to go with parties with which we negotiate and get a good deal to work together. I'm not going to lead my party to the opposition. I'm going to lead my party to the government.
Willie Lusige, Citizen TV, Nairobi.
A 30-year-old father of three, Anthony Otieno, who was found brutally murdered at Meridian Apartments in South Bay, Nairobi, in what police suspect was a setup linked to a phone delivery gone wrong. The victim was discovered under the bed in house number 72 on the 5th floor, tied at both the head and the legs, with a scarf stuffed in his mouth. Ode Francis with the details of that murder.
It was supposed to be a simple delivery, a brand new iPhone 17 Pro Max ordered online. It was to be handed over in person, but for the 30-year-old father of three, Anthony Otieno, a delivery rider, it turned into a deadly assignment. On the morning of the incident, Anthony left a shop in town around 10:30 a.m., heading to Meridian Apartments in South Bay. The order had been placed via WhatsApp by a man claiming to be in Eldoret, using the number 010-8577-041. He said his brother Hilary would collect the phone at the apartment, a booked temporarily stay unit. The delivery was to be confirmed before payment. It was the last time Anthony was heard from.
So hata alikuja asubuhi around 9, akachukua delivery ikatoka around 10:30. Kufika around 12 ndio simu zake hazikuwa zinaingia. Tunampigia kwa namba zote mbili, haikuwa inaingia. Tukajaribu client haikuwa inaingia.
Time ya mwisho nilimpigia ilikuwa around saa 4:30. Akaniambia nimefika kwa client, ngoja nitakukall. So from there sijui nini ilifanyika.
Hours later, his lifeless body was discovered under the bed in house number 14, 4th floor of Meridian apartment.
My brother was tortured. Alikuwa tied kwa mikono, miguu. Alikuwa amefungwa mdomo. Alikuwa na blood all over the body, oozing, I think maybe from the nose. So I don't know the motive ya watu. Sijui ni simu alikuwa anataka ama alikuwa anataka kumuua.
Detectives recovered a knife, a metal rod believed to be the murder weapon, and the very phone Anthony had been delivering. Outside, his motorcycle registration number, KMFH 161S, remained parked.
Tuliambiwa kuna mama mwenye Airbnb, ni mwenye alireza alarm ndio alipatikana na simu, kama aliwanyang'anya, so sielewi aliwanyang'anya aje.
The apartment had been paid for just hours earlier by 2 unknown men, 2,000 shillings in cash. Charity Mudhoni Mishoki, the Airbnb host, says she received a message around 9:30 a.m. that the bill would be cleared later that evening. But when she went to check on the room, one of the men insisted she wait. What she found was horrifying blood spattered across the floor. The door locked. With the help of neighbors, she forced entry into the bedroom and discovered the body. Police have forwarded both numbers that were used to request the iPhone and that was used to request for Airbnb to Safaricom for identity tracing.
Ile challenge yenye ndugu yetu wamepitia ni watu wengi wanapitia. Wengine wanafichwa. Wengi wameuliwa na imekuwa hiyo chini ya maji.
Customer akikwambia ako mahali fulani, malizana na yeye reception ama kwa gate.
Investigators believe the suspects orchestrated the murder under the guise of a high-value transaction.
The only thing we need as a family and as a community, we need justice for him.
As Anthony's family mourn the loss of a husband, a father, and a hard-working man, authorities are urging anyone with information to come forward. The hunt for the killers is on. Ode Francis, Citizen TV, Nairobi.
And this is special coverage coming to you live from the Business Bay Square in Eastleigh, a suburb at the heart of the county and the country's economy. Later, we'll be talking to the Trade Investment Cabinet Secretary Lee Kinyanjui. And here is what's coming up after the break. Funeral service for Chesongoch mudslide victims. Prayers held for victims of Marakwet mudslide as the government promises to resettle displaced families.
Your wealth deserves world-class benefits. Use your Standard Chartered Visa cards to book Qatar Airways flights, Qatar holidays, or student club travel and enjoy collective offers of up to 32% on Qatar Airways. Now's your time for wealth.
My skin is my identity, my strength. It's unique and deserves care made specially for me. Nivea Radiant and Beauty Even Glow, enriched with 95% pure vitamin C and pearl extract for visibly radiant and even-toned skin in just 2 weeks. Nivea Radiant and Beauty Even Glow. Skin is for celebrating my shade of beautiful. Nivea is for skin.
Dear Santa, all I want this holiday is special family time.
Whenever you come around family, you can find love.
To go on an adventure.
Tickets to every game.
Some giggles.
Now you are in the spirit.
And a puppy.
All you want to see is on DSTV. Pata DSTV decoder for only 850 Kenya shillings. Dial *423# or use the My DSTV app to get the offer.
This festive season, begin a story. Qatar invites you to experience a different kind of magic, where every moment feels new, every sunset feels personal, and every traveler is welcomed with warmth. Discover Doha with our festive Qatar getaway from the 23rd to the 28th of December from just $1,385 per person sharing. Explore the dunes and the inland sea on a thrilling desert drive with a barbecue dinner under the stars and wander through the charm of Souq Waqif, where tradition meets the modern pearls of Doha. View travel, moments that matter, memories that last.
Kote nchini mbele tuendelee.
Kenya Twende Mbele. NCBA. Go for it.
Nurturing the world. Available in a store near you.
Wengine atatuhitaji collection ndo tusonge mbele, ila yake Mungu wetu affection atuneemeshe. Wengine atatuhitaji collection ndo tusonge mbele, ila yake Mungu wetu affection atuneemeshe.
Kupata wimbo huu kama sikiza tuni yako ni rahisi sana. Bonyeza *811 *447#. Kumbuka, Sikiza na Citizen ndo nyumbani kwa wasanii wote.
Taki premium, nataka premium original.
Hata hii premium iko sawa.
Nataka premium original ya Kavagara. Mbona hata mimi anani confuse? Nilitaka premium original na ni ya Kavagara.
Shushu sichukue ingine kama si ya Kavagara.
Aha, hivyo ndivyo kinaumana ukikosa original premium.
Nilitaka premium original na ni ya Kavagara. Kama huna premium original nirudishie pesa yangu.
Waumbiria wajue, premium original ni hii ya Kavagara na ngano ndio hii.
Raha premium Kavagara, kwa raha ya familia.
Can you grow your wealth anywhere? Standard Chartered's unique global network and deep local insights give you unparalleled expertise anywhere, right now. Now's your time for wealth. Join Priority Banking today.
Well, the best holiday ever's finally over.
you fly Emirates, your holiday isn't over until your flight is over.
Nitakaa hapa mpaka Karis atangazwe kama mjumbe wa Better North.
I am not leaving here until the 28th of November.
It is complex. It's just an adult's game. Is this what they want for the future generation?
Agenda hawana. Hata akili.
And the political class takes the stage.
Hii maneno ya kusema sisi tukiwa opposition ni bure kabisa. Sipendi.
Those that exist in speeches and those that exist in suffering.
People of ODM entrusted one person with the management of that relationship. And that person was Baba Raila Amolo Odinga.
Mtoto yangu tutaongea na yeye kinyumbani.
The script played out exactly as it wasn't supposed to.
They are behaving as if ODM is the one that needs Ruto.
Kikiharibika kiharibike. Kama ni mbaya mbaya.
DJ, hapana lete mchanganyiko.
News Gang every Thursday at 9 p.m. Don't miss it.
Normally, I don't ask women out. They ask me out.
Really?
Yeah.
Welcome Naivas Kikwetu to your home this year. Tunasherehekea customers wetu Kikwetu kila siku.
Welcome back and thanks for staying with us. You're watching this special edition coming to you from the Business Bay Square in Eastleigh. Junior secondary school teachers have continued for their push for the employment to permanent and pensionable terms. Flanked by the Kenya Union of Post-Primary Education Teachers officials, the teachers appealed to the president to meet his promise of absorbing 20,000 intern teachers before January 2026. Crispin Otieno with the details of the JSS unending wars.
Junior secondary school teachers on the street in Kisii town.
Solidarity forever.
Teachers staging demonstrations to push for permanent and pension contracts.
Tumehuzunishwa na yale ambayo yanaendelea kutoka kwa rais wetu. Kama unatusikiza penye uko, jua science moguls, we are not happy at all. Our contract inaisha 31st December. So coming date 5th January, if there is no confirmation, no class.
According to Kupet Kisii branch, the plight of JSS interns are exacerbated by confusion between Ministry of Education and the Treasury.
We're also saddened because we have had a number of times a government contradicting itself in various ministries. As my brother has said, because we have conflicting information from Treasury and CS Education, we want to tell this government from Kisii County where we stand from, that come next year, if we are not going to confirm these junior school teachers, this is a group that if they not attend to their learners in class, there will be no learning in those institutions.
Yesterday evening, CS Education, in one of the local media stations, he said that he has officially communicated to the Treasury requesting to produce funds for the confirmation of the science moguls. Unfortunately, this particular morning, CS Treasury has said that he has not gotten any confirmation or letter confirming that they serving interns needs to be confirmed.
The teachers are calling for an upward of the monthly salary, which currently stands at 17,000 shillings.
Kwa saa hii kandarasi ambao walipewa ya mwaka mmoja ni kudunisha hadhi ya mwalimu, kudunisha hadhi ya walimu wa sayansi na kuonyesha kwamba serikali haijatilia maanani kuhakikisha kwamba STEM na masomo ya sayansi yanatiliwa mkazo, kwa sababu nchi hii haiwezi endelea bila sayansi kupewa nafasi yake katika jamii.
Crispino, TNO Citizen TV. Kisii.
The government is working on resettling those affected by the Elgeyo-Marakwet County mudslide early this month. Interior CS Kipchumba Murkomen says the move will not only assist those affected, but also safeguard the lives of others living in similar conditions. He spoke during the funeral service of 8 of the 39 people who were killed in the November 1st mudslide.
The caskets carrying not just the mortal remains of 8 of the 37 souls that perished on the night of the 1st of November, but the hopes and dreams of a people devastated by nature's fury. The community of Embobut Asambirir and the leadership rally around the families of the deceased. This tragedy touched on nearly everyone in the village. This is their shared grief.
So kijana ilikuwa mtu mwaminifu, alikuwa naenda shule yake, alikuwa anafanya vitu kwa shule, na kijana hakuwa na maneno kwa nyumbani. Kijana alikuwa mtulivu kabisa.
Tumepoteza mtu wa maana sana, alikuwa tegemeo kwa mambo mengi. Tulikuwa tunatumia yeye kusaidia kuchunga, tulikuwa tunatumia yeye kusaidia kuangalesha wenzake, pia juu alikuwa mtu mzuri sana.
The gravity of their losses etched on their faces and stamped in their hearts. The future for them now uncertain.
Hatuna pa kuishi tena. Kama nyumba ilibebwa, shemeji ameenda. Hatuna wazazi. Yani tuko tu.
The mudslide killed 37 people. Nearly 10 are still missing. Those who survived now in need of alternative settlement. The community here say they should be resettled in Embotut as a matter of urgency.
Watu wakatolewa Embobut Forest, wakaambiwa waende below the road. Below the road hapa sasa ndio wamefagiliwa na landslide. Hao watu wote wamefagiliwa.
Lazima tukue na special budget, a special fund, so that we address the all issue along these escarpments.
Interior CS Kipchumba Murkomen says the government is already looking into long-term solutions to the crisis of housing and settlement for the residents of the valley. But before then, he says the residents must be proactive in protecting the environment and themselves.
Hiyo laini yenye itakuwa regularized ya Embobut itapita wapi na itasaidia watu wangapi? Ili isaidie watu sasa. We want Embobut under the government of William Ruto. Hii serikali sio ingine.
The 8 deceased will be interred tomorrow at their various homes. The funeral services for 29 others who died in the Chesongoch mudslide will be conducted this Friday. Brenda Wanga, Citizen TV.
And the Council of Governors has accused the Ministry of Health of making unilateral decisions on the management of healthcare under the Social Health Authority. The Council Chairman Ahmed Abdullahi and Wajir County Governor slammed Health CS Adan Duale for allegedly micromanaging a function that is fully devolved. And as Emily Chabet now tells us in the following report, the governors have also faulted the Social Health Authority over delayed claim payments, pushing public hospitals into 32 billion shillings debt and crippling services across the devolved units.
Speaking in Naivasha during a symposium on the affordable housing program and the Social Health Authority, Council of Governors Chair Ahmed Abdullahi expressed county government's frustrations with the management of the Social Health Authority.
Indiscriminate and unilateral closure of hospitals and downgrading of the same. Since the MOH at Afia House has become too powerful. It's like they're running hospitals from Afia House. Downgrading, regrading. There's even no consultation. How do you downgrade my hospitals without talking to me?
The Council of Governors is accusing the Ministry of Health for allegedly making decisions that affect counties without any consultation, saying that while upgrading more hospitals from level 5 to level 6 may improve service delivery, it also comes with significant consequences.
Literally then means that counties have been asked to hand over their hospitals. It will be nice that we value these hospitals and they give us the money so that we can construct other hospitals. See, under Article 209, on-source revenue comes from user levies and the services that you provide. So if your premier facility is taken from you, it also has consequences on on-source revenue.
According to the governor, the biggest challenge with SHA is claims management, which he says is almost crippling service delivery in public hospitals, with the current debt standing at 32 billion Kenya shillings.
We take to the
dispensary in the remotest parts. We do not go to the central stores. We deliver there. And that's why we are saying, please patronize our services, and we are going to not disappoint you, but you'll come there.
It's very demotivating for our staff when they have actually provided the service and the claims they have logged in have been rejected over very flimsy reasons.
If something is rejected, right now, there is no follow-up mechanism. That means there is no appeal. So we are now dependent solely on one person to make a decision, or maybe it's a team of people who make a decision.
Health Cabinet Secretary Aden Duale was in another function in Nairobi said the Ministry of Health is reviewing and upgrading packages under the Social Health Authority.
We have listened to cancer survivors, cancer patients, parents, leaders. So there's something we're doing in line with the Benefit Tariff and Advisory Panel. And we want to get feedback from all of you on how we can all make sure we have a more sustainable health care delivery for our citizens.
Emily Chebet, Citizen TV.
And the country's universal health coverage program received a major boost after receiving 14 new ambulances and essential medical supplies from the World Health Organization. The equipment has been allocated to 7 national referral hospitals and the National Emergency Response Center, with additional ambulances headed to Elgeyo Marakwet, Marsabit, Siaya, Samburu and Tana River counties. This to strengthen reproductive and maternal health services. While receiving the donations at State House in Nairobi, President William Ruto ordered all public and private hospitals to submit data on maternal and child deaths, especially during childbirth, after fresh statistics shows that Kenya's mortality rates remain above global standards and the number of deaths among mothers and infants alarmingly high.
A testament to partnership, purpose, and the power of collective action. Each ambulance, each oxygen cylinder, each emergency kit tells a story.
Every facility in Kenya, public or private, every facility must provide data on mothers and children who die in their facilities. I know that there are facilities that continue to hide data on mothers who die or children who die in hospitals.
And Nairobi lawyer Chacha Mwita will spend more days in police custody. This is after a Kahawa Law Court ordered for the continued detention of the lawyer in police custody to allow for investigations into terror-related charges. While delivering the ruling, Principal Magistrate Gideon Kiage noted it was important for the investigation process to be completed and evidence forwarded to the court before the accused can take plea. Lawyer Chacha Mwita is facing at least 4 counts tied to the Prevention of Terrorism Act, including offering services and financial support to terror entities. He was arrested in Mombasa County on the 14th of November, and the case will come up for mention on the 1st of December for further court directions.
Sworn in support thereof are not altogether unfounded, and the questions therein can only be answered through thorough investigations. As already stated elsewhere, there are legitimate questions which bear on public safety and national security, and as such, I find that the instant application demonstrates compelling reasons that merit the detention of the respondent at the preliminary stage of this investigation. The respondent shall remain in custody for 14 days, during which period the investigations will be ongoing. The said period will be tabulated or will run from the 17th of November 2025, when the respondent was presented.
Silas Wasonga and Stephen Otieno were treated to a sumptuous lunch by Shabiki.com after emerging winners in Jet X Rubani Challenge. The two are also awarded $500,000 Kenya shillings. View Travel, the 2024 outbound award-winning Kenyan traveling agency, has announced a significant partnership with Qatar Airways.
The royal treatment kicked off with a surprise limousine pickup, a head-turning ride that glided through Nairobi's morning traffic with curious onlookers straining for a glimpse of the stretch vehicle. Carrying the newest Rubani Challenge winners on shabiki.com. Excitement was palpable as they toured the city in style on their way to Carnival Restaurant for their lunch treat. On arrival, they received a red carpet welcome to a full feast of celebration, where Songa and Otieno digging into delicacies, including ostrich and crocodile meat, all as they soaked in their victory.
Ni kama imekuwa one of the most experience I've ever had ya kukua kwa lunch, kukua na lunch ya ki5 star.
Chakula ni nyingi sana. Kwa mara ya kwanza nimeona nyama ya mamba, mpaka nyama ya ostrich. Kumbe si sumu, ni chakula.
Shabiki.com, Kenya's leading gaming platform, continues to offer exciting ways for Kenyans to play and win big.
Nimekuwa na hiyo dream ya kufungua electrical and electronics, hizo ya kuuza hizo electronics gadgets. Sasa naona ni kama hii pesa kidogo itanisaidia kushughulika na hizi mambo.
Nilikuwa nimenunua shamba lakini sikuwa nimejenga. So hii pesa itanisaidia katika kujenga nyumba mahali nilikuwa nimenunua.
Download the Shabiki app on Play Store or visit www.shabiki.com. Steve Shitera, Citizen TV, Nairobi.
And View Travel, the 2024 outbound award-winning Kenyan traveling agency, has announced a significant partnership with Qatar Airways under the theme Opening Qatar to the Kenyan Traveler. The choice is informed by Qatar Airways' status as one of the world's best airlines and a leading carrier in Doha. The collaboration aims to leverage on the convenience of the 3 daily flights from Kenya to Qatar, making travel more accessible for Kenyans. For View Travel, this partnership with Qatar Airways is a crucial step in its growth, allowing the brand to open up a wider array of international travel destinations to its Kenyan clients.
Our package, we've partnered in order to open up Qatar to the Kenyan traveler. So we have a festive package, which is from the 23rd to the 28th, 5 nights, at only $1,385 per person share. Such collaborations really do help us to open the market, the outbound market, to the Kenyan traveler. For us, it's all about advising, because we're just more than a travel company. We're also travel advisors. So it's coming up with those curated packages, but also advising our customers and our clients on the market, and also opening up the market, for other travel opportunities to our travel consumer.
Fined and barred. Capital Markets Authority takes action against former Chase Bank officials for actions that led to the bank's collapse.
Join our General Overseer, Bishop Dr. Mark Karaoke, and all apostolic bishops for a grand celebration like no other. From 2nd to 5th December at the ASK Grounds, Nairobi, experience 4 days of power-packed ministry with Bishop Tudor Bismarck, Bishop Joe Imakando, Dr. David Ireland, as we thank God for 55 glorious years. All are welcome.
Are you a Kenya government civil servant na uko na emergency? Usijibox kwa noma. Borrowing on MyMobi has never been easier. Simply register, apply, approve, and get your cash in minutes. Dial *531# and get up to 20,000 shillings to sort your emergency and pay from your next payslip. No paperwork, no drama. Ni wewe tu na simu yako. With MyMobi, now you're in control.
Wezesha biashara na Absa One account. Sort biz yako with an SME loan. Download the Absa Kenya app, open an Absa One biashara account with 0 monthly fees. Absa, your story matters.
You think all paracetamol is the same? Panadol Advance, with its unique Optizorb technology, releases medicine 5 times faster than standard paracetamol, making it ready to work in 5 minutes. Try Panadol Advance for fast and effective relief from pain and fever. Fast relief at only 15 shillings per pair.
Welcome to Boma Mabati Factory, the winners of 2025 roofing solutions. All our products come with warranty and are kept certified. Be part of our many satisfied customers by visiting us to enjoy great discounts. Boma Mabati Factory, Mabati Poa, near Boma.
Royal Mabati Factory Limited has early Christmas discounts. Corrugated and box profile at $396 per meter, brick tile at $456, and Roman tile at $500. Relax at home and enjoy free delivery countrywide. Call us on 0722 638383 or order now at www.royalmabati.com.
Hello everyone, I am Joy Bugwa, a proud beneficiary of Cooperative Bank Foundation and a program officer under Sustainable Development Programs at Impact Hub Nairobi. In my role, I lead workshops and initiatives that promote digital innovations and sustainable practices. A program that I am mainly proud of that I have done at Impact Hub Nairobi is the Inclusive Climate Entrepreneurship Program. This is a program that helps women-led organizations that focus on innovations under climate change and help tackle issues under climate change in their different communities. As a recipient of the foundation's work, I always feel that I'm indebted to give back to my community and also hold someone else's hand to make sure that I'm not only the person getting the assistance, but I am also able to assist other people. Let's harness the power of technology to drive positive change.
It's big, it's better, it's the November prize crush only on Citizen Duka. Usipate stress ya shopping this November. Citizen Duka itakupanga. Fanya shopping yako hii November kupitia Citizen Duka ndio uweze ku-experience our November prize crush on different items of your choice. Every shilling saved counts only on Citizen Duka, your home of discounts.
Citizen Duka, the home of discounts.
Business News, brought to you by Emirates.
The best holiday ever's finally over.
Thank you!
When you fly Emirates, your holiday isn't over until your flight is over.
Thanks for staying with us. You are watching this special edition coming to you from Business Bay Square, and it's time for business. The Capital Markets Authority has taken action against former senior officials of Chase Bank Kenya, now in liquidation over misleading information issued during the lender's 2015 bond sale. The regulator says the trio played key roles in preparing false financial statements and later irregularly handled the funds raised from the investors. Jasmine Wamboi has that report.
The Capital Markets Authority has sanctioned former Chase Bank chairperson Zafrullah Khan, former General Manager Finance Makario Sagumbi, and former General Manager Corporate Assets James Mwaura following its inquiry into the bank's 2015 medium-term note.
The regulator found that all three played key roles in preparing and approving false financial statements used in the information memorandum for the 10 billion shilling bond. Khan, the chairperson, now faces a 5 million shilling fine and a 10-year ban from holding leadership roles in the capital markets for failing to provide proper board oversight and for approving his own bonus without declaring a conflict of interest. Agumbi, the finance manager, has been slapped with a 3.5 million shilling fine and a 5-year ban after facilitating the misleading financial disclosures and irregularly paying Khan's bonus in a lump sum contrary to board instructions. And Mwaura, formerly in charge of corporate assets, has received a 2.5 million shilling fine and a 2-year ban for misclassifying related party loans and also facilitating the irregular bonus payment to Khan. All three must undergo corporate governance training before they can serve again in the capital markets. Chase Bank raised 4.8 billion shillings in the first tranche of the bond in 2015, but the bank collapsed less than a year later, triggering the CMA investigation. The regulator's hearings concluded in November 2025 confirmed multiple breaches, resulting in the latest sanctions. Jasmine Wambui, Citizen TV.
And the National Treasury has embarked on a 3-day public sector hearings for the proposed 2026-27 budget. This is a key step in the budget-making process, with the Treasury projecting a 5.3% economic growth rate in the coming financial year. According to the Treasury CS John Badi, the government remains vigilant to domestic shocks at a time when the International Monetary Fund, the IMF, remains bearish over the global economic outlook. Here's Jimmy Mbogo with that report.
The National Treasury is projecting a positive outlook for its revenue in the financial year 2025-2026, with Treasury Principal Secretary Dr. Chris Kiptoo noting that Treasury expects revenue to hit 3.3 trillion shillings, while expenditure is expected to slow down to 3 trillion, leading to a budget deficit of 901 billion shillings, an equivalent of 4.7%. His sentiments coming on the backdrop of slow revenue collection in the first quarter of the current financial year. Treasury, however, remains bullish that in the next financial year, revenue performance will improve.
We expect that our revenues will go up to 3.53 trillion, and of this we'll have ordinary revenues of nearly 3 trillion, as you see there, and the overall expenditure is at 4.6598 trillion. Composed as follows: you see revenue, the recurrent expenditure and development expenditure. So we expect a deficit of 4.9 by end of the year.
Treasury Cabinet Secretary John Badi, however, raised concerns over the shrinking ability to finance infrastructure using domestic resources, which he noted has shrunk from 20% a decade ago to just 9% today, with half of ordinary revenue being consumed by debt repayment and interest.
And if we are not careful, it is trending towards zero, meaning for us to develop as a country, for us to have roads, for us to have airport, for us to have water to drink, for us to have energy, we will have to go to other nationalities to get money from them, which come with costs. That is not the way to run a country.
The CS also assured the attendees that the sector working groups will integrate public feedback into the next budget, and underscored that the consultations are more than procedural formality, even as other speakers called for allocation to critical sectors of the economy that have a direct impact on the livelihoods of Kenyans.
If there are challenges in the funding of universal health care, I think this is the forum we have to ensure that we avail enough resources for universal health care. I have also mentioned about ongoing infrastructural projects. The tendency to always start new infrastructure projects each and every financial year is something that we need to dissuade ourselves from.
Kenyans have been asked to take advantage of the 3-day event to share their views. Jimmy Mbogo, Citizen TV, Nairobi.
Elsewhere, the road sector is calling for a bigger budget in the upcoming 26-27 financial year, warning that the government's current allocation is too slim to support critical road projects. This comes as Kenyans continue to demand a better road networks, while also raising concerns over the growing reliance on toll charges on the newly built highways across the country. Jasmine Wamboi has the details of that story.
As Kenyans continue to demand better road infrastructure, the State Department for Roads says its budget for the next financial year is too thin to meet those expectations. For 2026-2027, the State Department for Roads has been allocated 73.8 billion shillings for recurrent spending, slightly below the 74.5 billion shillings it says it needs to keep the sector running. The gap is far wider in the development budget.
We looked at how much we require for development, and we had a portfolio of about 413 billion. But what is allocated in our sector this coming in financial year is about 158 billion.
And the funding squeeze comes at a sensitive time. Kenyans have been up in arms over deteriorating road conditions in some parts of the country, even questioning the quality of roadworks by contractors.
A road that may require 40 million gets an allocation of only 2 million. So it is thinly split, and you may find that even when it comes to graveling, they only gravel certain sections.
Despite the funding constraints, the roads and transport sector plans to roll out major projects over the medium term, including the construction of over 1,800 kilometers of new roads, rehabilitation of 515 kilometers, as well as a routine maintenance of more than 78,000 kilometers of road. The government maintains that resources remain scarce and the country must now turn to innovative financing models.
If we are to develop as we want to develop, we must embrace the structure of PPP. We must embrace the development of infrastructure projects using private sector funds. And we must also embrace the infrastructure fund that His Excellency is trying and has asked us to embrace, looking at the 10,000 kilometers that we are talking about, the 10,000 megawatts that we are talking about. All that cannot be done using the normal government balance sheet.
Officials maintain that sustained investment into the sector will be key to unlocking economic growth. Jasmine Wamboi, Citizen TV.
And Kenya scientists are using modern propagation technique for cassava that promises to multiply planting materials faster, fight disease and boost food security. The Kenya Agricultural and Livestock Research Organization, KALRO, has adopted a technology known as semi-autotrophic hydroponics, or SAF, which could be a game changer for smallholder farmers across the country. Our reporter Dennis Otieno tells us more on this week's Smart Farm.
For years, Kenya's cassava production has been held back by limited access to clean, disease-free planting materials. At KALRO, scientists have introduced a cutting-edge propagation method known as semi-autotrophic hydroponics, or SAH. Traditionally, cassava is grown using stem cuttings taken from mature plants. But researchers say this conventional approach is inefficient.
So normally when you're going to plant, you take your cassava cutting and you put it in the soil. Now the soil will come up to around this level. But now, because the growth point of cassava is through the nodes, these are the nodes. What you can see here are the nodes. So if you use this method, you will be burying quite a number of your nodes. And you're left with a few that will then shoot. Another issue that we have is that using the normal cuttings, we have a problem with cassava viral diseases. And a viral disease cannot be cured, can only destroy the cassava. So instead of doing that, we are using this method because it also involves screening for the cassava, typical cassava diseases.
The SAH technique takes a different route. Instead of using long stem sections, it uses single node cuttings, each capable of producing an independent plant. This approach maximizes every node and ensures faster, cleaner multiplication. The innovation doesn't stop there. To eliminate disease risk, the cuttings are grown not in soil, but in artificial substrate.
It may look like soil, but it isn't. This is a mixture of peat moss and vermiculite. And the reason that we use this is the rate of diseases in soil is very high, pests and diseases. For instance, we have nematodes that are found in soil. But our artificial media does not have that. Also, artificial media can also hold more water as compared to soil.
Each transparent box can host about 20 young cassava plants. Under controlled conditions, these can be multiplied exponentially, achieving higher production levels.
So from this single box of 20 plants, you can get, within 1 year period, you can get 1 million cassava plants.
Currently, Kenya produces around 1.3 million kilograms of cassava annually, far below its potential. But scientists believe SAH could push that figure up to 6 million kilograms, significantly increasing supply for food and industrial use.
As a country, we need cassava for a number of reasons. The first one being food security, of course, but another reason is for use in the starch industry. Cassava is used to produce a lot of starch. So Kenya imports a lot of starch. So instead of importing starch, we will be producing starch which is used in the food industry. Also another thing is Kenya as a country will be able to be fortifying our maize flour so it will be a point of we are adding some cassava flour to maize flour.
From a crop once dismissed as low value, cassava could soon become Kenya's next big agricultural success story, thanks to science and innovation. Dennis Otieno, Smart Farm.
Business News, brought to you by Emirates.
The best holiday ever's finally over.
When you fly Emirates, your holiday isn't over until your flight is over.
And this is a special edition of The Bench from Business Bay Square Mall in Eastleigh. Takes a break. It's a sporting zone. And much more will be after the break with Emmanuel Ndungu from our communications center. Stay tuned.
Fight against cancer, clarity changes everything. The PET CT scan at RFH Cancer Center detects active cancer cells early, revealing where they are and how they're behaving. With this insight, our experts plan a precise, targeted attack, protecting your health and boosting treatment success. To win, you must first see the battlefield. RFH Cancer Center, the power of precision seeing.
Nitafutie duka ya TV.
Acha nikuplug bro. Dad, tap on Jumia app, order what you want. Add to cart.
Weka simu ya 15,000. Toa hiyo laptop hapo.
Si la kuna add to kwa wishlist. Ukipata do, tutabai.
Kumbe ni rahisi hivyo.
Ai, ni Jumia bro.
Wewe. Download Jumia app today. Life is living with confidence, knowing that your money is working just as hard as you do. Life is also about living with courage to chase the dreams you've always longed for. There's living and there's living free.
Live free as your money works for you with Jubilee FIDA Elite Insurance Plan. Invest smartly and earn competitive returns with a life cover of up to 1 million Kenya shillings. Start today with as low as 5,000 Kenya shillings and enjoy peace of mind. SMS FIDA to 24464. Jubilee Life Insurance. Live free.
Life's too short to just be living.
Welcome to Boma Mabati Factory, the winners of 2025 roofing solutions. All our products come with warranty and are kept certified. Be part of our many satisfied customers by visiting us to enjoy great discounts. Boma Mabati Factory, Mabati Poa, near Boma.
Wezesha biashara na Absa One account. Sort biz yako with an SME loan. Download the Absa Kenya app, open an Absa One biashara account with 0 monthly fees. Absa, your story matters.
Teke na we go border. Chanua Jam, fika on time at the lowest charges in town. Wear helmet and ride in style. Ni safi, ni safe, na ni easy kwa mfuko yako. Wigo, your trusted ride. Download the app now. Ama SMS Wigo to 20425. You'll fike right on time. Wigo, your trusted ride.
The moment you've all been waiting for.
Welcome to a world of endless kids entertainment on View Sasa.
We'll arrange a new secret meeting. Now I understand everything.
Pretty awesome, right?
That is so cool, man.
And it's lots of fun.
This is the ultimate destination for your kids' learning, fun, and enjoyment.
Greatest meal ever is ready for oven time.
That's right. Let your kids enjoy unlimited entertainment only on viewsasa.com.
Life is about building benchmarks to remember. Our steel isn't just about strength. It's about resilience. We're building a legacy. Our mark isn't just in the buildings we build. It's in the lives we impact, the communities we strengthen, and together we'll leave our mark on this world. MRM, shaping every Kenyan dream since 1962.
Welcome to the Mangu Gardens Open Weekend on the 29th and the 30th of November 2025.
Mangu Gardens boasts premium serviced eighth and quarter-acre plots located off exit 16 of the Thika Superhighway. You will enjoy graded roads, a perimeter wall with a gatehouse, power and water on site. You get to select your preferred house typology from available options. Plot prices start from 4.5 million shillings. Titles are ready and financing is available from HFC. Text Mangu to 21938 or call us on 0793 888 833.
Come, find out more at the Open Weekend.
Normally, I don't ask women out. They ask me out.
Really?
Yeah.
Welcome neighbors Kikwetu to your home this year. Tunasherekea customers wetu Kikwetu kila siku.
Nitakaa hapa mpaka Karis atagaswe kama mjumbe wa Better North.
I am not leaving here until the 28th of
It is complex. It's just an adult's game.
Is this what they want for the future generation?
Agenda hawana. Hata akili.
And the political class takes the stage.
Those that exist in speeches and those that exist in suffering.
People of ODM entrusted one person with the management of that relationship. And that person was Baba Raila Amolo Odinga.
The script played out exactly as it wasn't supposed to.
They are behaving as if ODM is the one that needs Ruto. Kiharibika kiharibike. Kama ni mbaya mbaya. DJ, hapana lete mchanganyiko.
News Gang every Thursday at 9 p.m. Don't miss it.
You're watching JKLive with Emmanuel Ndungu and Ayub Abdikadir. Let's get into the sports news now. The 2025 Confederation of African Road Cycling Championships will officially start on Thursday in Kwale County, with more than 320 cyclists from 30 different countries expected to race. The event was officially launched by Sports Cabinet Secretary Salim Mvurya. Men and women will compete in elite, junior, under-23 and youth categories and will include individual time trials, road races and a mixed team time trial relay. Kenya is hosting the event for the second year in a row, following 2024's edition in Uasin Gishu, Nandi and Elgeyo Marakwet counties.
The international community and that we'll be getting this show on the road. Eritrea.
We support the efforts of this ministry in growing, nurturing and developing sports talent in the country in all disciplines. I congratulate the Kenya Cycling Federation headed by my brother Kelvin, and I told him I'll be one of the participants.
We are making major transformations in the federations, major transformations in inspiring talents across Kenya. And those who thought cycling was a small matter, the next 4 days will be evident that cycling is not just the bicycle.
The national under-17 football team, the Junior Stars, have an uphill battle in the CECAFA under-17 CAF qualifiers after being held to a 1-1 draw by Somalia in their opening match of the championships on Tuesday evening. Despite taking an early lead in the first half with a brilliant goal, the defence lost concentration in the second half to allow Somalia to score the equaliser. Coach William Muluya says he takes full responsibility for the result, as he needed to guide the young players who don't have experience playing at this level. The team must secure wins in the next 3 matches to stand a chance of advancing in the tournament.
It's a good initiative actually for the boys, and I know it's not really an easy pool, like we can say, because we still have Rwanda, South Sudan and Ethiopia to face. So we have actually to go back and try to see what we can basically amend from the game and plan for the next games.
Moving on, debutant James Musembi is the new 1500-metre Deaflympics champion after comfortably winning the race today to take Kenya's gold medal tally at the Games to 2. The 21-year-old led a Kenya 1-2 in the final, with Elikana Rono clinching silver at the Komozawa Olympic Park Stadium in Tokyo, Japan. The two dominated the race after the second lap and finished the race way ahead of the rest of the pack. In the women's race, Sharon Bittok finished third for bronze. Kenya now has a total of 7 medals, with 2 golds, 3 silvers and 2 bronze medals.
Nimefaulu kwa hii mbio na nasherehekea. Nafurahi kupata medali. Hakika ni jambo la kushangilia. Asante sana. Nahisi unyenyekevu. Nashangilia bado.
Still more sports. The FIDE World Corporate Chess Championship in Goa, India, brought together some of the best chess minds in the corporate world to compete on the global stage. Kenya's Equity Chess team, fresh off their landmark London debut, was the sole Africa representative and went against some of the most established teams like Google, Morgan Stanley, JP Morgan and Tech Mahindra. Greco, the renowned Ukrainian law firm, executed a chess masterclass, clinching the world title with a dominant 3.5 to 0.5 victory over Morgan Stanley in a decisive second match. While Equity didn't reach the semi-finals, their participation marked a historic milestone for African corporate chess. Iraq scored a penalty 17 minutes into stoppage time to claim a dramatic 2-1 home win over the United Arab Emirates on Tuesday night and secure a 3-2 aggregate playoff victory that keeps the country's World Cup qualification dream alive. After a barren first half, Chao Lucas stuns the home fans with the opener for the UAE. The stadium came alive 14 minutes later when substitute Mohamed Ali headed in the equaliser in the 66th minute. Amir Al-Amari struck from the spot to take Graham Arnold's side into March's intercontinental playoffs. Let's have a look. So that's all for the sports. My name is Emmanuel Ndungo. Thank you very much for joining us this evening. As a reminder, Ayub Abdikadir is live at the BBS Mall in Eastleigh at the moment. So Ayub, over to you. Take it away.
Thank you, Emmanuel Ndungo from our communication center in Nairobi. We are still at the Business Bay Square, the BBS Mall in Eastleigh, and we'll be talking trade, the ease of doing it, the environment enabling the same, incentives by the government, and who, other than the profile of the person with me in my company. It's 10:30 and still businesses are operating here. CS, Trade, Industry and Investment, Lee Kinyanjui is here with me. Waziri, lovely having you. Pleasure to be here.
Thank you very much.
Asante sana. Karibu.
Honored to be part of today's show.
Correct, and you are the right person for this topic. We'll be talking at length about everything. But how do you find it? When was the last time you were in Eastleigh?
I was here about maybe 4 or 5 months ago.
Yeah.
But I think the good thing is that it's a city that never sleeps. There's activity round the clock, and really the point is everybody is trading, you're safe to walk anywhere, and this is really what is important for the country. That people trade, feel free to walk here and there, there is security, commodities are there, and that's how we make our country a 24-hour country.
Okay, economy. So we'll talk trade, we'll talk security, incentives, need for the creation of more jobs from the industries and manufacturing factors enabling the same and all
Absolutely.
that. It's going to be that special edition of The Bench, which is coming to you from the Business Bay Square, BBS Mall in Eastleigh, a suburb with immense economic contributions to the county of Nairobi and the country as well. Sending your questions, we'll be putting them to my Waziri after the break here on the broadcast. And we'll be on and up with Waziri on The Bench. Stay tuned.